What a wild and zany world that we live in. So I don't always do like news topics on the channel unless there's things that I start to see that I'm just like, this is worth having a conversation about. Now, I don't know if you guys know about what's going on with Russel Brand and the allegations against him. I want to say this at the very beginning of this. I will not do the full commentary on this on YouTube because YouTube is a unique place to share your ideas. So I will be at Rumble, at BlackPegasus Raps. That's RAPS. And I'm going to have a very full dialogue on my thoughts on this. But I was wondering, in the comments, if you guys would like to tap in, are you familiar what's going on with Russel Brand? Have you heard the allegations? What do you think? I know that he's turned a lot of people off with the type of commentary he has kind of changed. I actually enjoy a lot of his commentary, man. And you know, you don't really get a chance to get away from the common narrative unless you listen to, like, let's say, a Russel Brand or Joe Rogan. I really appreciate these guys' commentary. It's very high level. They bring in very high level people. They're willing to bring in both sides. And typically from the mainstream media, you'll only hear one side. It is so rare for them to bring someone from the opposite side and argue their points. Also, a lot of times we can get caught up with our team, right? And, you know, I know there's a right side and a left side in the culture war. And a lot of times, like when even I'm searching for certain things, you know, I'll find myself like, oh, you're only hearing this from, let's say, the right wing, right? And then when you want to listen to other things, you only hear it from the left wing. And I like the stance that Russel Brand, Joe Rogan take specifically out of these this new form of media and almost journalism, but not totally. Russel Brand is more journalism than Joe Rogan. I feel like Joe Rogan is more conversational pieces, but I could be wrong. Anyways, I'm really curious because I have a unique audience here, especially with a lot of the people who tap into my stuff. What I get is like my audience is kind of split down the middle. For example, with Ren and Ramstein, that audience is more left-leaning. With my Oliver Anthony, Tom McDonald, that audience is more right-leaning. Me, if I had to, I don't like putting myself in a box because I change my stances, and sometimes I'll have more of a nuanced perspective of the way things should go when you're dealing with we the people versus the powers that be. But I feel like I want to be in the middle and hear both sides, which I think you'd call that like a moderate. But my values do lean into conservatism because, you know, I grew up in the church. I grew up believing in God. I walked away from my faith for a very long time. I did live a secular, very secular life. And still, I'm not perfect. I don't want to harp because that's the biggest thing about people who believe in God is because they're not perfect. It's like, oh, they did this, religion's this. We're human. All of us humans have done bad stuff and are going to do bad stuff. And I just, what I'd like to say is I believe in something greater than myself, you know, and I'm not perfect. But with that being said, you know, raising a daughter, you know, I'm 43 now, and my youth experiencing so many things makes me lean into, like, you know, more of like you know, raising a child. I just lean into conservatism a little more, whatever that means to you. Not like I'm going to go storm somewhere, right? Like, it's just like these values that I have were fundamentally put in my life at a young age, and they bear fruit as I gotten older and mature. And as I'm watching my daughter grow up, you know, there's things that I think were important in my upbringing. But I want to play this clip from Russel Brand because I'm curious to see what you guys think of this. I think Russel Brand is more of an accepted character in the game or the whatever online community in the world than, let's say, Andrew Tate. And, you know, I've posted some stuff because I was, you know, when Andrew Tate got his allegations, I was like, well, this is interesting. You know, I didn't want to crucify him immediately, just like I didn't crucify Rammstein when they got their allegations. I was like, let's see how this plays out. And it's really interesting how quickly corporations and people are willing to just write people off that get allegations. And I think we're stumbling into a really interesting territory. So really, I just want to hear what you guys think of this story. Do you like Russel Brand? Do you not? What do you think of people jumping to cast judgment for allegations? And also, when people do allegations that are untrue, but they don't face accountability, how do you feel about that? And the current society that we're in, where we're seeing more of this stuff happen. Again, I'm going to save some of my more detailed commentary for Rumble. I'll put the link in the first comment and in the description if you guys want to follow me over there, and I'll just continue the conversation, but get way more in depth and be able to utilize certain, just go in depth and not feel like, oh, I'm risking my channel or monetization here just for speaking unadulterated thoughts that I'm having. So here we go. This is just a clip from here.
Spate of headlines from media outlets across the world using the same language. I'm aware that you guys have been saying in the comments for a while, watch out, Russell, they're coming for you, you're getting too close to the truth. Russel Brand did not kill himself. I know that a year ago there was a spate of articles, Russel Brand's a conspiracy theorist, Russel Brand's right wing. I'm aware of news media making phone calls, sending letters to people I know for ages. And
if you follow Russel Brand, he is not right wing, you guys. It's just funny when you go against the narrative of anything, you become right wing. That's just what I can't talk about that here. Okay.
Ages. It's been clear to me, or at least it feels to me like there's a serious and concerted agenda to control these kind of spaces and these kind of voices. And I mean my voice along with your voice. I don't mind them using my books and my stand-up to talk about my promiscuous consensual conduct in the past. What I seriously refute are these very, very serious criminal allegations. Also, it's worth mentioning that there are witnesses whose evidence directly contradicts the narratives that these two mainstream media outlets are trying to construct, apparently in what seems to me to be a coordinated attack.
All right, I'm going to leave it there. I don't know what he says at the end. I don't know what he says at the beginning, but I want to let the man be able to speak his piece, and I want to hear it. And you know what's really rare about these conversations is that most people who get allegations like this, you know, they're like, oh, talk to my lawyer. Oh, my publicist is going to address this. Oh, I'm going to wait and address it on this day. And he just immediately addresses it on YouTube. And I actually thought that was valiant. I was like, yo, he's telling you guys like, hey, now there's always two sides. There's three sides to a story, right? Like, what do they say? The coin, there's heads, tails, and then there's at the edge, right? So you normally find the truth on the edge. That's what they say. But you know, I'm just very interested on what you guys think of this whole situation. I'd love to hear it. Sound off in the comments. Let me know. And then if you want to join me for my more in-depth dialogue of this, I'm going to go have a conversation on Rumble. And it's not that I'm scared to say these things on YouTube. YouTube has become a valuable resource to me as a creator. And I understand the search algorithm. I understand a bunch of things. And they have rules. And I just don't want to risk, which I probably wouldn't cross the line with their rules, but they demonetized Russel Brand yesterday. And I'm seeing more and more creators get demonetized. And it's just interesting because YouTube, I'm going to talk about that part on Rumble. But YouTube is very valuable for creators. This is a space where you can really reach a huge audience, and the algorithm supports that if you're willing to be consistent, put in the work, and be engaging. And then on top of that, you can get paid really well for that. Does that mean you should sell your soul for that? Absolutely not. But it does mean if you know the rules and you're playing chess, you have to have a strategy to win on that board. YouTube is a part of being a creator. If you're not on YouTube, let's just keep it real, you guys. You know what I'm getting at. YouTube is a huge part of it. TikTok is becoming a part of it. But if you want people to see long form conversations, YouTube is a huge part of it. So without kissing YouTube's glutamus, right? Gluteus. It's just, I got to keep it a buck, man. No one likes to tap dance. Nobody, including yours truly. But when I started understanding the value here at YouTube, I was like, oh, wow. Oh, wow. And this is, anyways, we'll get into the rest of this conversation on the R to the U to the M to the B to the L-E or E-L. Huh. I need to work on my spelling, you guys, but let's go over there if you want to. Again, if this doesn't concern you, I just think sometimes these conversations are worth having, but I know that if I want to speak as free as possible, I can't have that conversation on YT or Twitch, because we'll have that conversation on the other spot. So I'll link it if you guys want to tap in. Let your boy know. And let me know in the comments what you're thinking of this whole fiasco.